Good day, my audience at home. I'm your regular instructor on marketing. I want to welcome you to Fame Global Academy. I hope you have been following the lesson and I hope you are practicalizing each one of them, either academically or business wise. So, the subject has been marketing, and today we'll be looking at consumerism. Consumerism, or a more simpler word again, is consumer behavior. Consumer behavior. Now, when we were small, we were hearing that customers are kings. Customers are kings. People who are coming to buy items, commodity from your shop, they are kings and they should be treated as one. Now, when we look at the word consumerism or consumer behavior, we are talking about a philosophy on the study of groups, organization, and individual. Now, in this context of consumerism, we see the customer being placed on a high premium. In the business world, customers are placed on a high premium. That is to say, customers are given attention. Customers are highly valued by individual businessmen and women, groups, organizations. So we said the word consumerism, it is a process whereby customers are placed on a high value. So here, customer becomes the central focus. Customer here becomes the central focus. So it is a philosophy that focuses on customers. It is a philosophy that pays high premium to customers. So that boils down to the fact that customers are kings and they should be treated as one. We said it is an aggregate of the activities of a customers in the market. When we talk about consumerism, we're talking about everything that has to do with the customer. Everything that has the totality, the aggregate of all it takes to maintain your customers in the market. Their responses. Customers should be treated based on how they respond. Of course, you are the one coming to look for them. And in as much as you are bringing your item to the market, of course, you should pay high premium to these customers. Oftentimes, we enter transport and you'll be asking the driver or the rider, how much does it go? He will give his own bill, and in return, you give your own. It is your own that becomes supreme. It is your own that becomes final. Not even the seller. You are the one that should be considered. And oftentimes, you see most of these sellers treating their customers in a very rude way. Now, knowing fully well that these people are the ones that make it to come out of your house. So you are out of your house to sell your commodity. These customers are the major people that just brought you out from where you are. So for you to retain your customer today, because if you despise them today, eventually tomorrow they will tell their friends, that guy, don't enter his vehicle. If he enter his vehicle, he will be smoking. He will enter his vehicle, he will be insulting you from the beginning to the end. Most of these sellers are insultive. And who are they insulting? They are insulting their client. And if you insult your client at a certain point, in the next development, they won't come by. They will not come, come back looking for you. Why? Because your disposition is zero, is poor. So either that you are a student who want to aspire academically. Consumerism is a philosophy that pays high premium to customers. So that is how we define it. That it focuses on the need of the customers. Customer here become the central point of value. So you do not toll with your customer anytime you see them around. Now, having tried to make an attempt to define consumerism or consumer behavior, we look at factors influencing behaviors. Factors influencing behavior. Factors influencing behavior. Now, you can't, write them off. They are your potential customers. So they have their mannerisms. Every customer have their own ego. So just like you go out there and you see vehicle moving, a client knows fully where he's heading somewhere. He wouldn't want to stop you only when he stops you, with a style. Why? Well, I'm a king. You should treat me as a king. So even you, who is the one looking for this potential client, you don't just insult them, you don't just write them off, because by the time you just zoom off, in fact, it's your own money that you are losing, because there are 1,001. Let's say, for instance, now keke is all over the country, and there are other millions of transportation in Nigeria and in the world. So anywhere you see these your clients, you must consider the fact that there are, they have their own ego, they have, their own way of moving. Most of them are not, eager to move. It's only when rain is falling. It's only when rain is falling that you can see, clients, customers. They want to, stop keke by all means. They want to stop vehicle by all means. Even when you are, when you are telling them, no, I'm not going, they will tell you, okay, but where will you want to stop? Now, because they are desperately in need of movement by that time, they will not be in a haste to look for you. But if they are in a convenient mood, have it at the back of your mind that they can stop you anyhow. So here we look at cultural factor. So when you are considering factors influencing consumer behavior, when you are considering factors influencing consumer behavior, number one point there you look at is what we refer to as cultural factor. Cultural factor. Now, this culture is everywhere. Among the whites, you see there, among the black and the rest of other ethnic groups, you see culture reflecting. So you don't come to a place, you want to sell your goods without first and foremost considering the cultural status of the place. Like you are going into the market. For instance, you are going into market like international market. You must first consider the place you're going to make, trade. And even in the local setting, you equally consider this factor. Because this factor can tell you you are welcome. This factor can as well tell you you are not welcome. So either as a consumer or as a seller or a dealer, cultural factor is considered. Now there are places where you go to, they will tell you these things are not welcome here. These items are not welcome here. And of course, you must listen to your customers. You come to a place and they tell you here you don't sell banga here. There are places where you go to, they will tell you this meat, what kind of meat is this? The customers, they are privileged, to ask you what kind of meat is this? What kind of item is this? And you don't insult them, because by the time you insult them, they will tell you these items is against our norms here. So here it is not welcome. And by the time they raise a voice, it is you who will be telling them, I beg, I'm sorry. How do I go from here? What do I do? So you must consider the cultural factor as a border to consumer behavior. Then the other part there is social factor. Social factors. Now, the world today is socialized, but you don't forget the fact that there are places where you go to. An old woman will tell you, my pikin, I don't know what is called transfer. You just come buy some item, you just came from the city, you want to tell the woman, the old woman in the village, you can do transfer. Madam, don't you have a POS? Let me do transfer. See, this social factor, it has not really cut across. That it has been already influenced by social factors as a border to consumerism, does not mean that even those of our old mothers in the rural setting, they are equally aware about this stuff. So when you are either coming into a setting or when you are already in a setting, you must consider this factor. Can this factor, is it a workable item in this business? Is it a workable item? Can it really move market? And you who is citing a social influence or a social factor or a social status in an environment, you must first consider the place to where you are citing it to. Today, NTN, they are everywhere in the world, and they are connecting plenty of wire, trying to make life for people what possible, and easier. Now, but you see, when you are coming to this angle, you don't say forget the number one. You must first settle, with the cultural setting of the place before coming to cite your social business. So by social business or social factor, we looked at lot of things, such as the social status of the people. You look at groups. Like we talked in the previous lesson where we talked about the demography of a place, the demography and the geographical place, location of a place. These are the items people could put into considerations. So when you are coming into a business as a businessman, you must not forget the fact that consumerism is one of those factors you must look into. You must consider it, because this is what deals with the value of individual. You don't talk them out. You don't shun them. You don't maltreat them. You don't treat them rudely, because they are what? They are kings. So you looked at family and the roles of status under this particular social status. Now, like somebody said, he said the essence of moving this wire by this company today is to capture some group of persons. And when I mention some group of persons, there are persons that in these social factors, if you are citing your business based on this social factor, you make money. You make money. Why? Because this individual in this place, they need what you are bringing. Just like today, people are shifting away from the normal classroom. Why? Because the normal classroom is becoming noisy. So, but now, individual can sit down at home and put in for GCE. You put in for GCE, listen to this, channel, Fame Global Academy. And this point, we are picking them down. I bet you under God that go for your, school start. Of course, this particular course, marketing, is happen to be one of the subjects that students have them A1. The only student that will score this one C4 or C6 are those students that don't pay attention. They are in the those kind of setting. But I tell you, if you listen very carefully, you want to pass your school start, you want to pass your GCE, you want to pass your JAM. With what we are doing here, I bet you under God that A1, will not even elude you. Why? Because here we make students to pass the exams and as well as even those one in the business world. Now, so here we consider some social level of some persons. There are people who don't want to be in a noisy place. There are people who don't want to be in a noisy environment. There are people who don't want to, have some unnecessary interference while they are learning. And today, this channel has come on board to make sure that what students can learn at ease. And maybe little talking will just leave your phone. Just little talking. So when we look at social factors, we're considering groups. We're looking at families. We're looking at status. We're looking at some individual, trying to make sure that what life become more better for them. Gone are those days, people say, I was going to the market with some millions of naira and the armed robber attacked me on the way. Those era has passed. Now, in this business, we're teaching you a lot of things. Either you're passing your exams or, you are excelling in the business world. So by today, I will bring you in a subsequent, lesson to what to call digital marketing. Digital marketing. So this is, you no longer carry goods up and down. You carry your goods based on specification, based on demand, based on request. That's how you go. And I tell you, individual to sit down at home and make research. We have e-marketing. So today, this business has diversified to different areas in such a way that businessmen and women, you don't need to carry your load and be going up and down. There are people you see them on the road because they have not been aware of e-marketing. E-marketing, electronic marketing. You can see them carrying their goods up and down. Some are carrying their goods up and down, and some are carrying it in a wheelbarrow. But this item, somebody can sit down in the house, and money is entering your pocket. What do you want? And somebody, there's this recent bike I see, on the street on the major road of Nigeria, and if you see that there's one big bus at the back, they call it logistics. Now this, vendor here or whatever, is employed. See, this medium creates employment for people as well. So you can say at home and send please go and make this supply. The man has just paid money to me, so just go and make supply. Even as it is today, people no longer move the way they were moving before. Okay, so having considered some social status of the people, some age, group of persons in the society, as it is now, we have come to the level of understanding that this person have to be treated the way they are. Now we talked about personal factor. Personal factor. Personal factor. Now, by personal factor, we are looking at occupation. We are looking at occupation. You see, most of the times when you are starting your business, you are, what comes to mind is, where can I get these people? Where can I get these people? So, are they in a highly populated areas? Are they in a densely populated areas? You consider consumer, because they are the reason why you are out there. So, you equally look at their personality. These consumers have their personality. So when they enter your shop to either buy one or two things from you, you must look at their lifestyle. So you see, our clients have lifestyle. Okay, everybody have lifestyle. Economic status. So each time they come around to where you are, you must put into consideration personality. In fact, when we mentioned personal factors, we bring in what we call personality. So here we consider what we call personality. The personality of the person. In fact, everything we are talking about here under this consumerism is all boiled down to what we refer as well personality. Personality. Somebody you look at him and this one is a small boy, not knowing that he's the owner of this big empire. He walks away, and by the time he walks away, maybe after 2 days you will discover that this man is the owner of this whole empire. And I tell you, by the time you now discover this now, if you are a wise businessman, it's either that you go with a bottle of wine to tell him, please, I'm sorry for the way I treated you the other day. Now, see, all this one boils down to the fact of what we started saying from the beginning, that consumers, they are kings. They are kings. They are the ones that have the money in the pocket. They are the ones that have the money in the pocket. No matter their size, no matter the size of whatever person coming to your shop, the issue there is that what you don't toll with personality. So in the business world, you don't toll with personality. If you want to sell very well and if you want people to keep coming again and again, to your business, you must add high premium to personality. Personality. And you don't play with the social factors. These things, you put them into consideration. Then the next one we look at is a psychological factor. Number 4 is psychological factor. See, everybody have their ego, especially customers. Customers have plenty mannerisms. Customers have plenty mannerisms. They have different, motivation. They have things that motivate them. They have different perception. So you as a dealer of a particular goods must know, you must consider what we refer as what psychological factor, their mindset, their perception, what will motivate them. For instance, like those days when I was in the bank, I was one time a banker. So when I was in the bank, each time a customer come to either make deposit or make withdrawal, while entering, you started saying, "Welcome, sir. How was your night, sir?" Imagine, a dealer who asks items to supply to a customer. You are first and foremost asking, your customer, "Oga, how was your night?" "Good morning, sir," with a smile on your face. I tell you, even if that customer, has been upset from the house, either by the wife or children or whatever, on his way, only just seeing your face, the way you smile, only just seeing your face, the way you smile, changes, perception. It changes mentality, change everything about him. And instead of him, exacting the same, headache on your head, the next thing is, in return, my dear, I'm fine. How is your wife and children? Everybody's doing well. It's all right. Welcome, sir. So what can I do for you? With smiles, on their face. I tell you, the man or the woman gains some plenty lot of what? Relief. So we looked at perception, learning, belief. You must understand your customer. You must understand under the factors of this consumerism, you must understand who you are dealing with. You must understand who you are dealing with. It's not everybody wearing pants slippers there, or pants sandal, or flying shirt, or wearing short knicker. Are people you can just talk to anyhow. Most of them that are wearing short knicker, they are wearing pants slippers. Most of them are multimillionaire and billionaire. You will see it in there. In fact, it's not everybody that even enter taxi, is or doesn't have a car. This person decided not just be simple. So having this mindset that my clients have different perception, they have different belief, they have different things that motivate them, they have different approach to life, and of course, you are out there. You are out there not to count the numbers of vehicles on the road, but you are out there because you want money in your pocket. So you must understand individual attitude. See, customers have plenty lot of attitude. Plenty lot of attitude. At first, they won't just give you a sign that want to buy. Madam, this item, are you sure this thing has not expired? They don't start. That is their own lifestyle. They touch it here, they touch it there. They want to find out how you will react. See, there are customers, there are clients out there or there are dealers out there that by the time you touch maybe one seed of tomatoes, you see the way they will react at you. "Hey, my friend, keep it." By the time you finish pressing this thing now, this thing will just get bad, the more. They are reading you, they are learning you, they are looking at your perception, they are looking at the way you are motivating them. But if you from a very good background, "Oga, you like this though." Be pressing small, Oga. Even with their smiling face, you are telling them plenty lot of nonsense. In fact, if you go to the market, you see the way that most of these customers react. All of them, they kind of set trap for you, so that you fall into the trap. If you don't treat them well, they walk away. Sometimes they manage to buy from you. And oftentimes you can imagine a keke man, I just enter from somewhere, a short distance, he say 300 naira. In return, I say, okay, is it not 200 naira? The man say, come down. That you see, myself as a customer, I have marked that face. I have marked that face. Who are you to tell me come down? I am the major person. I'm the major stakeholder that brought you out of your house. So you should talk to me in a polite way. So you have different characters. You have different lifestyles. You have different beliefs among these consumers. And I tell you, A will tell B and B will tell C. Unlike like most of those our friends out there who go on wrongs. By the time they go to A, they can equally tell the other one, you just go to that same joint. You get this person. Why? Because they are there, they have been treated either badly or they have been treated well. If your food is sweet, somebody is looking for where to eat, you can always direct people, hey, go this way, go the other way. That woman, after the 1 2 3 4 5 building, there is a woman there, she says well. In fact, that woman, he will ask you, okay, sit down. She will give you water. What do you want to eat? While you are just in that place to eat food, they prepare the food for you. Now, most of us now, today, when you go to a restaurant to eat, there are places where you go, they tell you, just sit down. What do you want to eat? They prepare the food immediately for you. They first, with a time, give you water to drink. Okay, will you care to take a soft drink? Man, I'm in a hurry. Don't worry. In the next 2 minutes, this also will be done. And I tell you, but before you will spell Jack, this person, they are prepared vegetable soup for you. Very hot. Very hot. And by the time you finish eating this food, next time, just like when we are small, it's not that we're in the business world proper, that we're understanding that advert, Ajinomoto. Ajinomoto happened to be a wonderful spice, that the woman was using to cook. And lo and behold, the husband was coming home and, from bike, he jumped out from the bike, he entered taxi, from taxi because of the aroma. See, there are tips of making it in business. But don't rule these people off because they are the ones holding the money. That profit you are looking for, the wealth you are looking for to buy that skyscraper, these people are the ones holding it. So you don't play with them out there. You don't play with them out there. So you must understand them properly. You must understand your client properly. So you don't play with their psychological, composition or disposition. You don't play with it because most of them just want to test you. And that is why some person can go as far as kilometers trying to go and get a particular customer who attend to them well. Whereas there are plenty of places in the neighborhood. So something must be driving you, and you out there to sell, you out there to learn. You must equally consider psychological factor. So you are learning in the class, make sure you are paying attention. You don't just sit down, and be using one eye to watch, look at what we're doing here and be doing other things. Pay good attention, to what we are doing here, so that by the end of the day, you can pass your exam, number one. And having passed your exam, you are all returning to the business world, because the world is a global, business. It's an industrialized economy. In fact, the world today is an industrialized economy. Look at the men who have made it in life. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and the rest of them who have made plenty lot of wealth on earth. What are they doing? Are they civil servants? They are not civil servants. These men are what? Businessmen and women. Okay, so this course or this subject is of two forms. One is that it enables you to pass your exams very well. And to you there out there, because I'm not only teaching students, I only teach adults. Adults who want to go and do business proper. Like I told you initially in our previous lesson that today in the world, today in Nigeria, we have a school in the East called the business school. So in business school, we teach you on how to attend to your customers. And if you attend, if you learn this thing very well, I tell you, sky becomes your limit. in making what? Money. Now we look at the stages of customers buying process. Stages of customers stages of customers buying process. There are a lot of things you equally put into consideration when you are dealing with this set of person. Now, one of them is problem recognition. So number one here you have problem recognition. Now, this ones, in fact, every customer that comes to the market is being motivated in one way or the other. So, when a customer is coming to buy something from you, you on your own will now begin to think on how to stir up the stimulus of this individual. What do I do to motivate this person? Most of the persons selling out there, they have this charisma of being polite. There are 1,001 who are out there. Just like when you travel to main market in Onitsha, in Nigeria. If you go to main market, somebody will talk you out of your market list. In fact, Onitsha main market has taught us a lifestyle that when you are going to Onitsha main market, you must have what to call market list. You must have market list. So you must first and foremost sit down and design what you refer as what market list. Why? Because when you enter main market, you are definitely going to forget about what you're going there to do. Because there are persons are different strategies. They will talk you out of your business. You didn't have the plan to barb your hair today, but somebody will help you barb down your hair and give you a very good haircut. And by the end of the day, it's money that is leaving your pocket. Even if we give you one bottle of 100 naira bottle water, hey, one, you're welcome. And the Igbo man is busy there telling you one, you're welcome. He's giving you a very good haircut, and he's smiling with you. And the Igbo man is not angry, and that is why the world today in Nigeria, they go to the East to learn business. They go to the business school. Why? Because you don't see an Igbo man being angry. Even when you're telling him chop shit. He said, God, in fact, God made you on Sunday morning. That one, they keep, giving you good works. All these ones are what we refer as what is not stimulus. They just want to stimulate you. They just want to, bring you closer. Sometimes they follow you, and the man will follow you. He will even leave his business. He will Chimaroke, please. Hey, take over my shop. I'm coming. One, come. Just check now, relax your mind. No. Consumer behavior. They understand consumer behavior. In fact, all this work, we went there to learn it. And today, we are teaching it again. And even they themselves too are only learning more from us. They will leave their own shop to even escort you, to where you are going to. One I say, that one. Let not be that I want to spoil their business. But this one, you see, in this market, there's Akburuka business, Akburuka item. That is, Akburuka is a product that you could buy, just use it for 2 days, and it will crack. I remember in those days when I went to main market to buy a CD plate, and this CD plate I used it like about 1 month, and after 1 month again, the thing cracked. I went back again to complain. The man will tell you, when did you buy this one? I said, last month now. He said, that is about like 4 weeks now. So you have enjoyed the money now. You have even recovered the money you used in buying it. Now, so when you go to the market, there are people, you look out for. Problem of recognition is one of, the factors, customers, put into consideration in buying process. Okay, so the way you attend to me today will determine whether I'm coming back tomorrow or not. The way you deal with your customer today will determine whether they will come back. So here, help them to get what they are looking for. Help your customers to get what they are looking for. And I tell you, if by the end of the day you help your customers to get what they are looking for, next time around, you will stay where you are and be calling them. Uncle Chimaroke, Wanna, please, so do you have this item? Do you have the other item? The man will be glad. He say, Wanna, do you want me to bring it to where you are? Come, if your customer in main market is telling you in Benin that he want to bring the product for you there, just make the money. Yeah. In fact, who is there? Transport. They will charter motor from where they are and load their vehicle and carry that item to you. And I tell you, if by the end of the day, somebody is helping you to solve your problem. Somebody is helping you to solve your problem. So how do you look at the person next time? You value the person. You value the person. And in return, even you too, that money is leaving his or her own pocket. You are happy. Somebody is equally helping you along the line. So we all look out for this help. Now, the next stage of customers buying process is what we refer to as information search. Information search. Now, today we have what we refer to as digital marketing. Now, you have digital marketing. You have e-marketing. Now, in this process, you sit down in your house and ask Google, where can I buy these items? And Google will help you. Google will help you, but Google will not help you to bring it. So the next thing now, there is need for information search. Where can I get it? I don't know where electronic is in the main market. By the time you go to a Google map, because this electronics has made a lot of things easier for people. In Google Map again, they will tell you that after you just pass so point after the bridgehead, just about 5 minutes drive. 5 minutes drive from bridgehead, you get electronic market. Okay, where you can buy all manners of electronics. Now, what are you doing here? You are carrying out what we call what? Information search. Information search. So that you don't just carry yourself and you go to the main market. By the time you go to the main market, there are other brand of things that are being sold there. And by the time you are asking them, hey, please, where can I get a laptop? Where can I get a computer? Where can I get a generator? Where can I get this? Where can I get a television? They will tell you, no, it's not so dear now. You go to electronic market. Where is electronic market? And by this time, you have spent a lot of money coming there. They will send you back again. See, they are very good there. Some are very good there. Some too, some are there too. I call it bad. But when you are already missing your way, you can always say that, please come. Come. I want to first eat before we go to electronic market. Please, where can I eat good meal here? And they carry you to where to eat good meal. It's not only you eat, make him first and foremost feel comfortable. So by the time you have made this man, just like we talked in number one, problem recognition. By the time you have helped this man, perhaps they have not eaten since yesterday night, and you are giving him food. After he has eating food now, you are giving him one bottle of water. Which drink do you have there? Give me one good wine to drink. Please, can we go to electronic market? And he carry you to electronic market. By the end of the day, you discover what you're going to look for. So in return, what do? You have tried. By the time you put your hand in your pocket, you'll be counting out like 10,000 naira. Please use this one for your transport. Emailer. Once an Igbo man tell you emailer, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. He's happy. He's happy. And by the time he's happy, he can do. See, please take my number. Anytime you are coming to main market, just let me know. Tell me what you want to buy. I will make sure you get the item. And even sometimes they will even tell you, you don't need to bother to come. Okay? You don't need to bother to come. And just contact me. I will bring the item to you. So if you get a customer like this who always puts smiles on your face, you will always do him well. You will always do him well. And because you're always doing him well, himself will probably do it well. Just like we have a bouquet outside there. Each time a Pokemon comes to work for you, don't wait for him to tell you Kawabunchi. Eh? Kawabunchi. Don't tell him Babunchi. Because Pokemon knows you have the Abunchi. Abunchi means food. Okay? So give him food to eat. Give him water to drink. And even that thing he's sewing for you, you know the value of what the man is doing for you. Just ask him, how much are you going to use to sell this one for me? He say this amount of money. In return, it's okay. Don't worry, go ahead. And by the time you finish, by the time he finish working for you, next time again, you even drop a sermon, for him. And in return, this young man, he goes, Oga, thank you. Oga, thank you. Oga, thank you. Oga, he will even be speaking. He will be telling you, Oga Nagode. You does not hear Nagode, but the man, out of excitement that this man has treated me well, he's telling you Nagode. He's telling Nagode. He's telling you, he's speaking outside for you. Knowing fully you does not know how to speak this thing. Why? Because of how you have treated him. Because of what you better was search, information search. And I tell you, most of us have Aboki's number. Aboki that sells my shirt for me, do it well for me. I took his number. The one that sells my shoe very well, I collect his number. We become friends. And anytime they come around, we'll be speaking Hausa. So in this product information search, it's one of those stage in buying the process that customers put into consideration to attend to their client. This one enables you to locate where you can have this needs being taken care of. Now, every one of us are looking for where we can get our own satisfaction. Every one of us are looking for where we can get our own satisfaction. Then again, we probably have the one we call evaluation of alternative. Evaluation of alternative. Now, here, of course, fully well, you cannot pin any customer down to where you are. Yeah, just like we are teaching you now, most of you, sometimes you stop halfway. If you stop halfway learning it, maybe in another development again, you can go back again and continue the learning. But most at times, some students, they just switch off their mind to do another thing. And that's why by the time you ask them one or two questions, they tend to tell you what they heard. Maybe when we are making some other explanation very far, a child can tell you, proceed went to heaven and return back. Where have we just put this one now? He has it somewhere. Just like one story they kept telling us, a young lady who never wanted to follow the mother to the kitchen to cook. So, but at any point in time, our eye switches off to the kitchen. Or switch to the kitchen. What she normally hear was, see the mother does then was, the mother will just, be dusting her hand into the pot of soup. And over time, this child grew with this mentality. Okay, perhaps that is a miracle that they use in cooking food. And one day, the child got married, and the husband, after the honeymoon, the next one is, go and cook for me. Honey, I'm tired. Honey, for how long will you be going to tell honey I'm tired? Now, you are here now to exhibit those things you have learned from your mother. And eventually, she went to the kitchen, set everything and put a pot on fire. Water was boiling. She does not know what to do. The only thing she was doing was, clapping her hand into the pot of boiling water. Cover it. And by the end of the day, no miracle appeared. No miracle appeared. And lo and behold, the husband discovered that she cannot cook. I hope my student at home, you won't be such a client who cannot cook. So you must always, go to the kitchen with your mother and know how to cook. Where this is, Google have made the work too easier too. So even young ladies, I hope you won't be angry with me, but there's need to. It's not everything Google will tell you, okay? But there's need for you to have, this first-hand information from your mother. Today, if you cannot, if you don't know how to cook banga soup, Google will tell you what to do. Google have made things easier for people. But By the end of the day, you are paying somewhere. You are paying to, do that thing that you would have done conveniently without consulting, Google. Now, a valuation of alternative, fully well that in this case, customers are looking for something good, and oftentimes you don't blame some men too when they leave the house to go to one restaurant to go and eat. They have, taken statistics. They have, taken a critical look at your performance, and they've now discovered that this matter you cannot satisfy me. Oftentimes you see some men, doing some crazy things. How will a man leave a very wonderful wife and you are looking for one small girl outside there who cannot even bath well? The issue here is that people have, taken their seat and they have, examined this process. By evaluation, we mean examining alternative. All of us are looking for where to get it good. Everybody outside there, we are looking for where to get it good. And that is why there are some people who have marked some hotel bad. They say, that hotel, when I went to that hotel, in fact, bedbug follow me to my house. So who want to visit a hotel whereby bedbug will follow you to your house? So tomorrow you are looking for alternative. Then the next one is purchase decision. As part of the stage involved in this process, you have what to call purchase decision. Here is the customer that is at work here, and of course they are the reason why you are there. So anyone selling there, know fully well that the reason why you are there is because of consumer, people who are coming to buy. This one can make the mind, can make up his mind or her mind to buy. And if by the end of the day, because of maybe you are wrong disposition, by the end of the day, a customer walked away. Even you self will be regretting. I don't lose this one. See, in business, nobody wants to lose any customer. So as much as possible, people who understand what it takes to make profit, each time customer comes around, they want to follow them because money is leaving their pocket to your own pocket. Money is leaving point A to point B, and you as B, you went out there to look for money. So you must, manipulate a lot of strategy to get these people to remove the money from their pocket. Not until your customer put hand in the pocket, you don't stop betting, you don't stop switch works. And you see, Igbo man, once the money have leave your pocket to their own pocket, the face change. The next thing is, please, can you help me carry it across the road? Wait, I'm coming. Let me attend to Chimaroke. Why? Because money has just left your pocket now. They're asking you, wait, let me attend to Chimaroke. From attending to Chimaroke, we'll be attending to Nnamane. And from attending to Nnamane, they will be attending to Okorie. You can see now, plenty of customers are here. Who is there? Okay, we remind you, calm down, See, once money leave your pocket, the countenance of Igbo man change. You see, because money have just left your pocket. So in buying decision, know fully well that here customer is involved. And of course, come, I will find money, small money. How much will it take you? By the time you just use a sign and drop little money for an Igbo man, you see how it will help you carry the load. Somebody like your father will help you carry load on his head, across the road. And now welcome. One now welcome. He's happy that you are giving him a very good, treat. Now, everybody in the market there, we are looking for what to call satisfaction. Everybody in the market there are looking for satisfaction. So, your customers out there, that is, the consumer out there are looking for what? Satisfaction. We are all looking for satisfaction. Then, on the final note, we have what to call post-purchase behavior. Post-purchase behavior. Now, there may be some dissatisfaction along the line. So by the time we return back, I expect to see that first, that part of you I saw before. Okay, I wish to see that first you I saw in that development. But if I see on the other side, of course, I won't be feeling happy. So there's always what we refer to as post after purchasing a product. So it's either that the product is either good or bad, but each time we return, when we fix on the satisfaction, you should always give us that audience. Now we have been talking about consumerism, and here we said customers are giving high premium. They are the central focus in the market. They are the central focus in the market. Then we talk about the factors influencing consumer behavior. Now we have looked at cultural factor. You must acknowledge the culture of the people. Then we talked about social factor. So all these ones are put into consideration when you are coming to the market. We talked about personal factors. All these ones are part of the charisma that make up these customers. Then we talk about psychological factor. You must understand the way customers behave. Most of them behave wonderfully. So, but you must acknowledge the way they behave. Now, having talked about the factor influencing consumer behavior, we talked about stages of customers buying process. So, what are the stages? Problem recognition. Most of the time, you may not have the idea of what you're looking for, but somebody will be out there to help you articulate it. Somebody can help stir up your spirit, and your spirit comes up. Then we talked about information search. Information search. I said before that today, we now have e-marketing. We now have Google. These mediums have equally helped people to make buying process easy. Then we talk about evaluation alternative. Now, customer, they have all it takes. They looked at your own, disposition today, and if it is not 100%, they may not come back. So they have this evaluating your performance before they return back to you tomorrow. Then we talked about purchase decision. Purchase decision. In fact, customers are kings. Whether we like it or not, customers are kings. So they decide on when to buy. So when it comes to decision, purchase decision, they are the one to make, that decision. Now we only talked about the final one we talked about was post-purchase behavior. After I have finished buying from you, I just return home now. I discovered that the freezer that worked in your shop is not working in my house. What is the problem? I am feeling some what to call dissatisfaction. Of course, in business, you don't rule out what to call dissatisfaction. Your customers are bound to experience it. But when they return back to you, how do you treat them? How do you treat them? Now, for my student out there, this point, of course, we give you A1, a marketing. Then to you there too, who is getting this advantage in your business pursuit, it goes a long way too, helping you to understand the fact that your customers who are coming to buy things from your market, they are kings. So don't insult them, don't be rude to them, be polite to them. Find out even their own language. Say, which language do you understand? Speak their own language. And of course, each time I go to buy onions, I will first greet the Hausa man. I say, Inakwana. He reply again and say, Inagaje. He's feeling happy. I will say, Yayo, the little one I know how to speak. I'm making him, feel, I'm your brother. Even when I don't speak the thing well, but I make him feel we're together. So make your customer feel happy. Make your customer feel happy, and sky becomes your limit. We'll be joining the curtain here today. It has been your regular instructor on marketing, Uncle Philip, bringing this idea to you in this channel, also known as Fame Global Academy. I want to encourage you. Because today we have discovered that most of our schools are very noisy place. Student, once it passes a 6th period, they are tired. But you can confidently tune to this channel. Go to YouTube and type Fame Global Academy. All these ones, 1001 subjects you are looking for. English is there, mathematics is there, and all the subjects, chemistry, physics, they are there. You just sit down in your parlor, sit down even in your own room, and make your own notes there. And when those people who went to the school, either public or private, return, you can interact on the same page. And by the end of the day, you yourself will be asking them question. And of course, you are asking the question and you are even giving the answer. Because what you have learned in a cool atmosphere, perhaps AC is touching you there and fan is touching you there. So in most of those people too, where they are too, fan is not touching them, talk less of AC. So you now, who is enjoying this one now under AC, of course, you are better placed. So there's no two ways about it that you will not pass your GCE, you will not pass your WAEC. There's no two ways about it that you will not pass your JAM. Sitting down at home, you can sit down. We have seen in the history, most men sat down and they wrote JAM at home. They didn't go to any lesson. So but this one, the channel is there at your, doorpost, is at our fingertip. Just, click to the right channel, Fame Global Academy, and keep learning. So in other development, we'll continue. But don't forget that today we talked about consumerism. Okay? Consumerism centers on, it's a philosophy that centers on the customer. They see the customers or the consumer as kings. So you there, who is a future businessman, understand these processes. You must imbibe by it, because that is the only way you can catch your client and have good money in your pocket. Don't forget that they are the reasons why you are out there. Okay, if you have all the money in your pocket, you wouldn't have gone to the market there. God bless you, and see you same time in the same channel. Remain blessed.